Good morning, folks. Everything new under the sun. I am back at it, back from vacation. It was an excellent vacation. You always wish you had more of it. But Bible prophecy never did stop while I was there. And to be honest, I wasn't really able to track current events because the internet wasn't the best there. And of course, I had other things to do. Three kids to look after. And so the internet, and I probably shouldn't have. I did need to be following Bible prophecy anyways. The world will go on even if I'm not paying attention for a couple of days. But the world did go on. And I'm looking at abosswatchman.com. This is kind of a more, it's a bit more of an obscure site. It's just kind of this guy who's been posting headlines from all over for many years now. I followed this abosswatchman.com site. I'll put the link in the description. He kind of has stuff from that can be way out there, in terms of non-mainstream stuff. Some good, some not so useful. But I think he does put together some good headlines here. And look at the section on the right of the screen there. This is from August 28th. Basically, all these headlines here. And he's got links to all these articles, so you can go to the website and check this out. NATO confirms Russian naval buildup off Syria, and they call for a restraint. Well, NATO confirmed a large-scale Russian Navy buildup in the Mediterranean. That's part of the videos that I did prior to leaving. Syrian air defenses reported on full alert for U.S. attack. That was another video I did before I left. North Korea's state newspaper claims U.S. is secretly plotting to unleash a war while continuing to negotiate. With a smile on its face, it says. Biggest Russian task force in Mediterranean since 2015. Iran, Russia, Turkey to hold summit. Now, doesn't that sound like Ezekiel 38? Gog Magog. And they are getting together. There is a complete, total alliance there. And there's going to be more nations involved in that as well when that actually comes to fruition. Russia stages its largest post-Cold War exercise next month, so month of September. Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu announced Monday that Russian forces will next month conduct their largest war games since the Soviet era in 1981 in central and eastern Russia. Up to 300,000 troops, now that's a lot of troops, will take part in the Vostok 2018, as well as two naval fleets. Look at this one, Macron. And he's an interesting leader, interesting politician. France is ready to conduct new strikes on Syria if chemical weapons used. So now Macron is coming out. That was on the 28th, and he is basically going along with the U.S. Now, there hasn't been a strike there that I've heard about, at least anyways, but they're all saying a chemical strike is imminent or coming. So an interesting situation there. And some people have said it's going to be a false flag and anything to get the United States into Syria, basically. And the other thing I'm looking at is, when does the time come the U.S. will no longer be a world superpower or a power on the stage in the Middle East? Because in biblical times, or in prophetic times, which we are in now, but when the prophecies really get rolling, there's no mention of the United States. There's no mention of really Western powers. There's Israel against Russia, China, kings of the East, Turkey, Libya, Sudan, all these other places, but no actual Western powers, which is interesting. Well, if we go over to this one, this is debka.com. Let me see if I can go to reader mode here. Iran launches anti-U.S. Israel front from Iraq. So check this out. Look at the image here. You've got Israel on the far left-hand side, Jordan in the middle, Iraq right in the center of the image there, and Iran is now basically setting up battle lines, if you will, in Iraq. And they also have a corridor through Iraq, which they have bolstered military alliances with, basically the militias in Iraq, to protect the road through Iraq to Syria, between Iran and Syria, so that Iran is able to get shipments through Iraq without them being destroyed, etc. So they are setting up battle lines now. Russia, Iran, Syria, and Hamas have launched 6 steps to counter the U.S.-Israeli plan to hit Iranian military targets in Syria. While National Security Advisor John Bolton finalized in Jerusalem 2 weeks ago, the plan is to strike al-Qaeda's al-Quds brigades and allied Shiite militia forces in Syria and western Iraq. And so you can see the images there of the place they're talking about. The U.S. and Israel agreed to provide each other with reciprocal air and military cover for their operations in Syria. The accord was first implemented on August 23rd when unidentified warplanes bombed a pro-Iranian Iraqi Shiite Kataib Hezbollah convoy on the Syrian-Iraqi highway. The Russian-backed Iranian-Syria Hamas alliance subsequently put together 6 countermeasures. Number 1, Iranian Defense Minister Amir Hatami arrived with a large military delegation to sign expanded military cooperation pacts with Syrian ruler Bashar al-Assad. Israeli and American officials who initially made light of the event were forced to take a second look. Number 2, Iran was empowered by these accords to deepen its military grip on Syria, backed by the promise of Russian military and air cover. Number 3, Tehran and Damascus agreed to retaliate for every U.S. or Israeli strike on Iran's al-Quds or Shiite militia forces in Syria. Excuse me. Number 4, our exclusive sources, Debka files that is, reveal that new military pacts signed by Iran and Syria provide explicitly for 3 large Iranian bases to go up in Syria as hubs for various Iranian command posts. So this is really what Israel has not wanted to start occurring. Israel is setting up shop in Syria. They have been. They're building bases. They've got troops on the ground effectively permanently now. There is a direct military alliance between Iran, Russia, Turkey. They're holding war games. They're setting up the battle lines. They are now in direct missile range of Tel Aviv and other locations in Israel. They are lining up. I believe that this is basically the lining up of troops for a confrontation with Israel. Number 5, in the wake of these pacts, U.S., Russia, and Iran and Israel are all engaged in military buildups. Is it the most peaceful time in history? No. All the world is encompassing Jerusalem. There's a buildup by all the major nations around Israel. The Americans have prepared naval and air strength in the region capable of rapid responses, mainly with Tomahawk cruise missiles. The Russians are massing a sea armada opposite the Syrian coast. Fresh arrivals on Friday, August 31st, raised the number of warships to 24. Number 6, on Friday, Iran said it had supplied allied Iraqi Shiite militias with ground-to-ground missiles with ranges of between 200 to 700 kilometers from western Iraq, meaning Anbar, where Soleimani has concentrated a large force. These missiles can reach Tel Aviv. So guys, this is not the most peaceful time. The nations of the world, the leading nations of the world, are all gearing up their military for a strike. This does not slow down. This does not go away at this point in time. We are too far in. We are, I believe, about a year and a half, 2 years away from the beginning of the 7-year tribulation, which means there's likely going to be a large war and an economic collapse prior to that, which kicks into gear the call by the civilians of the earth, the people of the earth, the humans, to promote, to elect a one-world government and a one-world leader who will feed them and bring peace to the nations, and more importantly, more significantly, peace to Israel, Palestine. And I think that's coming very fast. And so we're lining up, basically. The nations are lining up in the Middle East surrounding Israel. I think more and more you can see that exactly detailed out in these articles that I present each day to you. Guys, this is coming down the pipe quickly. Thanks for watching. This is a quick kind of briefing as I'm back from vacation, catching up on a lot of the news that's happening in the world. And this has got significantly worse than where I left it. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next video, hopefully shortly. I'll see if I can. I want to take a look at some of the other news, and we'll see what else is out there. But thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video.